All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, great to be back.
Today, we are tackling something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. We're talking about digital patient twins.
Oh, yeah. I've been excited to dig into this one.
It's like having a virtual replica of yourself, but for your health.
Exactly. And it's more than just a copy. It's like a dynamic simulation that evolves as you do.
So you're telling me there's a digital version of me out there eating all the virtual pizza I can't have?
Well, not quite. But it could be used to predict how your body might react to certain foods or medications.
Okay, so less about the pizza, more about personalized healthcare.
Got it. Precisely. Imagine going to the doctor and they pull up not just your chart, but a virtual you.
Hold on, stop right there.
Yeah.
Because that is what's blowing my mind. I mean, that's like next level personalized medicine.
It is. The idea is these digital twins could give doctors a glimpse into your future health.
So we're talking predicting illnesses before they even show up. That's wild. What kind of things are we talking about here?
The possibilities are pretty much endless. We're talking about predicting everything from how your body ages to what treatments would be most effective for you.
Wow. Okay, so no more mystery ailments, just straight up, hey, in 5 years, watch out for this.
That's the dream. Proactive, personalized care tailored to your unique makeup.
Sign me up.
Ooh!
But let's get real for a second. How far off is this technology? Are we talking Jetsons or something closer on the horizon?
It's definitely still early stages. Think of it like this. We have the blueprints for a skyscraper, but we're still laying the foundation.
So what's holding us back from building this digital health utopia?
A few things. First, we need a rock-solid digital infrastructure in healthcare.
Makes sense. You can't build a house on sand.
Right. We also need to ensure that patients have control over their data and that this technology integrates seamlessly with existing systems.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about building the whole ecosystem around it.
Exactly, and that takes time, collaboration, and a lot of careful planning.
Okay, so we're talking about a pretty massive undertaking here, but the potential payoff is huge, right?
Absolutely. We're talking about potentially revolutionizing healthcare as we know it.
All right, so we've got this incredibly exciting, potentially game-changing technology. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break down exactly how these digital twins work their magic. And that's where AI comes in, right?
You got AI is the engine driving a lot of this.
Okay, so walk me through it. How does AI fit into the picture?
Imagine your digital twin swimming in a sea of your health data. We're talking about everything from your medical records to your lifestyle choices. AI can analyze that mountain of information way faster than any human, potentially spotting patterns and risks we might miss.
So it's like having a superpowered detective combing through your medical history for clues.
Exactly. AI can help us make sense of all that data and use it to predict your future health needs.
Wow, okay. So we've got the potential, we've got the technology, but there's still a lot to figure out.
Absolutely. But the future of healthcare is looking pretty exciting, wouldn't you say?
It certainly is, and we're just scratching the surface here, folks. Stick around because we're diving deeper into the world of digital patient twins right after the break. All right, so we've been talking about this mind-blowing potential of digital twins, but I got to ask, are there any real-world examples of this tech in action? Or is this all still just like pie-in-the-sky thinking?
Oh, no, it's definitely not all sci-fi. We're already seeing promising results in some areas.
Really? Like where?
One area is cancer treatment. Some hospitals are starting to use AI-assisted radiotherapy.
Okay, I've heard a little about that. How does it work exactly?
Well, essentially, it helps personalize radiation doses for patients with certain cancers, like lung cancer.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, it's more tailored to the individual.
Precisely, and early research suggests this could make treatment significantly more effective.
Wow, that's huge. So we're talking about potentially better outcomes for patients because treatment is customized for them.
Exactly. And it's not just about improving existing treatments, it's also about changing the way we approach emergency care.
Now, you've got my attention. Emergency care is so time-sensitive.
Exactly. Every second counts. And that's where digital twins could be a real game changer.
Okay, so give me an example. How would this work in a real-life emergency?
Let's say someone in a rural area has a stroke. Time is of the essence, right? But with a digital twin, a specialist miles away could potentially guide the local medical team through a complex procedure remotely.
Wow, it's like having a top-notch medical consultant beamed directly into the emergency room.
Pretty much, and that's just one example. The possibilities are pretty mind-boggling when you think about it.
Okay, so we've covered cancer treatment, emergency care. What other areas could see a digital twin revolution?
Well, for one, imagine a world where surgeries are planned and simulated on your digital twin before you even go under the knife.
Wait, so you're telling me they could practice the surgery on my virtual self first? That's wild.
It sounds crazy, but it could become a reality. And think about the benefits. Faster recovery times fewer complications overall, better outcomes.
Okay, that's a game changer for sure. But what about the human element? I mean, are we talking about replacing surgeons with robots?
That's a common concern, but that's not the goal here. Think of it more like giving surgeons this powerful new tool to enhance their skills and judgment.
Right, so it's not about replacing doctors, but giving them a high-tech co-pilot in the operating room.
Exactly. It's about combining the best of human expertise with the power of AI and data.
Okay, so this is all starting to sound less like science fiction and more like the future of healthcare. But let's be real. How long before this tech is widely available to the average person?
That's the million-dollar question. The technology is rapidly evolving, but it's a bit like building a superhighway. You need the right infrastructure, the right rules, and everyone needs to be on board.
So we're talking about a pretty massive undertaking. What are some of the biggest roadblocks?
One of the biggest challenges is building a secure and ethical system for handling all of this sensitive health data.
That makes sense. We're
Yeah.
talking about people's most private information here.
Mm.
So how do we ensure that data is protected and used responsibly?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's not just about technology. It's about having those tough conversations about data privacy, patient consent, and who has access to all this information.
Right. It's about building trust. People need to feel confident that their data is being handled responsibly.
Exactly. And that trust is going to be crucial for the widespread adoption of this technology.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about building that foundation of trust and ethical considerations.
Precisely. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about healthcare, and that takes time.
It's like laying the groundwork for a whole new era of medicine, which is both exciting and a little daunting, right?
Absolutely. But it's a conversation worth having.
Yeah.
The potential benefits are too great to ignore.
So we've talked about the potential, the real-world applications, but what does all this mean for someone tuning in? Like, if I'm just now hearing about digital twins, what's the takeaway?
Think about it this way. Imagine walking into a doctor's appointment, right? And they're not just looking at your last checkup or your current symptoms.
Okay, yeah.
They're looking at a dynamic simulation of your health, informed by years of your own data.
So it's like having a crystal ball, but for your health.
It's even better than that, because this crystal ball is powered by data, by algorithms. And that means it can be incredibly precise, incredibly personalized.
Okay, so less woo-woo, more science. I like it. But what difference does that actually make for, say, the average person?
Well, for one, we're talking about catching diseases earlier, maybe even before you have any symptoms.
Really? So no more feeling sick, going to the doctor, and being told, oh, it's too late.
Ideally, no. Instead of reacting to a health crisis, you're preventing it in the first place. Think about conditions like heart disease or diabetes. Early intervention is key.
Makes sense. So it's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, this future hinges on something pretty crucial.
Don't tell me, let me guess. Data privacy.
You got it. For digital twins to really work, we need massive amounts of health data. And not just from a few people, we're talking about millions of individuals.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that gets tricky. That's a lot of sensitive information floating around.
Exactly. And that raises some really important questions about data security, about patient consent, about who has access to all this information. And honestly, there are no easy answers.
So it's like we're standing at the edge of this incredible breakthrough, this whole new era of medicine. But it comes with some pretty big questions attached.
And those are questions we need to grapple with as a society. What are we willing to share? What are the risks and benefits? How do we ensure equity and fairness in a system driven by data?
Big questions indeed. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. We've covered a lot of ground, from the potential of digital twins to the very real challenges that lie ahead.
It's been quite a deep dive.
It has. And a huge thank you to our expert for guiding us to this complex and fascinating topic. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this journey into the future of healthcare. It's a future full of potential, but also one that requires careful thought, open dialogue, and a commitment to ethical innovation. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay well.